Given that Linelight has firmly ensconced itself in my top 10 puzzle games of all time, I figured this week would be a good time to give the puzzle genre the top 5 treatment. And this was a stupid idea, because there are so many more than 5 that are worth mentioning. I'm pretty done. Puzzle games are brilliant, and the term covers a vast array of gameplay types, and for that very reason, I need to start with a disclaimer. An honourable mention goes to Tetris for being too pioneering to even really fit into this genre, and it doesn't make the list because I'm not actually sure if it even counts as a puzzle game, yet it's responsible in some fashion for every puzzle game since its creation. Thus, the Tetris Award for being Tetris goes to Tetris. Then we have more honourable mentions. Shoutouts go to Ghost Trick, Monument Valley, Gunpoint, Loco Roco, Dr. Mario, Braid, and a whole bunch more because I ran out of space. And also to Peggle, my dearest Peggle, which doesn't quite make the list for similar reasons to Tetris, but is so simply brilliant and has the greatest use of Ode to Joy in anything ever. Well done, Peggle. You get the best combination of slow-mo and opera in a game award. Who knows, maybe I'll just do a top 5 games that might be puzzle games but probably aren't at some point. Anyway, to business. Before Rockstar North became Rockstar North and started making vice-ridden sandboxes full of hookers and guns, they were known as DMA Design, and amongst other things, they created a puzzle game featuring suicidal rodents for a publisher called Psygnosis. Players were charged with guiding anthropomorphic lemmings from A to B safely, bestowing a limited amount of skills upon them that allowed for digging, burrowing, climbing, staircase building, and the occasional explosive sacrifice for the greater good. Lemmings as a series was darkly comic and phenomenally addictive and pretty difficult at times, especially when you factored in 2-player options, and as you got into the later levels, the opportunities for experimentation and time trials against your friends really opened up too. They just don't really make them like this anymore. Mobile games have really taken the puzzle genre to new places, and the Games in the Room series aren't particularly taxing, nor is the escape genre particularly original. But what's here is a rather slick, left-field variation on the theme that earns The Room and its superb sequels a place on this list. You actively spend your time physically poking and prodding about the game space, hunting for hidden switches and secret compartments, finding patterns and cracking codes, and you'll rarely get stuck. But the delight comes in the form of discovery as each component of the room peels back to reveal more intricate layers and curious devices. And for me, I found myself in an odd state of almost childlike wonder the first time I played The Room. It doesn't offer the challenge of many of the other games here, but it's a stunning and satisfying puzzle series nonetheless. The sheer inventiveness at the heart of Scribblenauts still boggles the mind. You play as Max, a young lad with a magical notepad that can will pretty much any noun under the sun into existence. Okay, most nouns. The challenge with Scribblenauts was never about really how to overcome a problem or objective. They weren't particularly taxing challenges that you'd find here, but rather to try and find the most ridiculous, outlandish way of doing it. Half the time, I ignore whatever was actually going on in a level and start spawning royal rumbles between Cthulhu, dinosaurs, several tanks, and possibly deities as well. Do you give yourself wings to reach that ledge over there, or do you summon a dragon, climb aboard, and rename yourself Khaleesi? I know what I'd do. Instead of encouraging you to find solutions to problems, Scribblenauts' genius lay in the fact that the game would just let you invent your own. And that's freaking brilliant. There are many Match 3 games, but the original Puzzle Quest is the absolute best, and it helps that it's an RPG first and foremost, and a good one at that. I mean, the story is pure hokum, but the class-based gameplay really feeds into the tactical nature of the combat, which just so happens to be conducted via matching coloured orbs. And because of this, Puzzle Quest manages to feel a lot more strategic than Bejeweled and its many knockoffs. I mean, I'm not trashing Bejeweled, it is the progenitor of this entire subgenre, but Puzzle Quest is better. The enemy variants and the side questy things you can do, like capturing mounts and besting prisoners to learn their skills, make for a Match 3 game with phenomenal, unparalleled depth and variety, and better yet, the variation in playstyle and the huge game world provide plenty of reasons to come back and play it again and again. In fact, I might just have to start my 8th playthrough right after this. Once I'd given Tetris and Peggle their own awards, the question was never about whether Valve would take the top spot here, but rather which Portal game should actually have the crown. And there are good arguments for either, but in the end, I plumped for the sequel. Now, the original was a stunning surprise, a gem hidden in the orange box that soon outshone its chums, and it was the perfect length and brilliantly innovative. But the sequel is, dare I say it, even better. The simple addition of the gels that affected surface motion added even more depth to the puzzling mechanics, and they were matched by expansive level design that has yet to actually be bettered. Free to explore all of Aperture and its history, the designers crafted an experience like no other. The razor-sharp script is possibly even funnier than the first, and Stephen Merchant and obviously Ellen McCain are absolutely fantastic. No, the song wasn't as good. Still Alive is just the best. But with Portal 2, Valve managed to do the impossible. They made first-person co-op puzzle platforming not just fun, but absolutely unmissable. Portal 2 takes the trophy and the cake, and that's not a lie. Still, those are just my thoughts. How about you folks? Let me know what your favourite puzzle games are. I'll see you for another top 5 very soon. Cheers. Bye!